Hey, Shalom, Esha. I'm going to start off souls by giving all praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Shai, Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS and all the brothers doing the work in truth, while sincerity. This is a quick one, this isn't a quick one. This is 2 Chronicles 9. Well, I was just reading this earlier on, and there was some good, topics here. And when I was reading it, I was like, damn, King Solomon was decked out. It was full of wisdom, right? It was decked out, and it made me think of Isaiah the 60th chapter, right? So I don't know how I'm gonna do this because this could potentially get quite long, but I'm just gonna read into it and make comments, and jump on the scriptures where the Spirit seems fit. I don't know if I'll read all of it or if I'll skip certain verses. This is 2 Chronicles 9 from the top. It says, when the Queen of Sheba heard the fame of Solomon, right, because that's people knew about King Solomon. The wisdom was such that it was noised abroad, right? And no, they did not have sex, right? The Queen of Sheba and King Solomon did not have sex, right? So she says she came to prove Solomon with hard questions, right? Basically trying to try him out, right? It says at Jerusalem with a very great company and camels that bear spices and gold in abundance and precious stones. And when she was come to Solomon, she communed with him all that was in her heart. And Solomon told her all her questions, and there was nothing hid from Solomon which he told her not. Right? So basically, she, what would you call it? She was trying to see if he's on levels, and she basically was like, nah, he's on levels, right? To glorify the Most High, right? What's this shit? It says, and when Queen of Sheba had seen the wisdom of Solomon and the house that he had built, it says, and the beat of his table, and the sitting of his servants, and the attendance of his ministers, and their apparel, his cupbearers also in their apparel, right, and his ascent which he went up into the house of Yahweh, there was no more spirit in there, right? So she saw how everyone was so decked out, right? She was like, nah. That's how decked out King Solomon was, right? He says his cupbearers also, right? If I'm remembering correctly, when you read in, I believe in Kings, right? This account in Kings, she saw, his King Solomon's servant thinking it was, and he was so decked out, she thought it was the king. Right, it says, and she said to the king, it was a true report which I heard in mine own land of thine acts and of thy wisdom. Howbeit I believed not their words until I came and mine eyes had seen it. Right, it says, and behold, the one half of the greatness of thy wisdom was not told me, for thou exceedest the fame that I heard. Right, because why? King Solomon, when the Most High asked King Solomon, he's like, look, man, what do you want? Right, I'll read from verse 9. It says, give therefore thy, so the Most High asked King Solomon, what would you want me to, bless you with? It says, give therefore thy servant, and 1 Kings 39, give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, thou may discern between good and bad, for who is able to judge this thy so great a people? And this speech pleased the Lord. Now Solomon had asked this thing, and the Most High said unto him, because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life, neither hast asked riches for thyself, right, nor hast asked the life of thine enemies, but hast asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment. Behold, I have done according to thy words. Lo, I have given thee a wise and understanding heart, so that there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall arise like unto thee. So the Lord made King Solomon the wisest, man ever, right? So when Queen of Sheba came back, she was like, she saw him. She was like, hey, the way people said you're wise, now you're even wiser than that, right? And when you read from verse 16, right, I won't get into it, right? That's just that you read how King Solomon broke this situation down, right? You're like, nah, that's wisdom, the way that was, that played out. It says, goes on, happy are thy men, right, and happy are these thy servants, which stand continually before thee and hear thy wisdom. Blessed be Yahweh thy power, which delighted in thee to set thee on his throne to be king over Yahweh, to be king for Yahweh thy power, because thy power loved Israel, which is true. Right now, Queen of Sheba, she knew this. Right, he says, because thy power loved Israel. Right, you read Deuteronomy 7:6. Right, Deuteronomy 32:8. Psalms 140, what was that? He hath not dealt with any other nation. Right, 147:19, I believe. Yeah. Right, all of these different scriptures going into the fact that the Lord only loves Israel. Malachi 1, right? Lord, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated, right? This is to establish them forever. Therefore made he the king over them to do judgment and justice. And she gave the king 120 talents of gold, and of spices of great abundance and precious stones. Neither was there any spice as the Queen of Sheba gave King Solomon. Right? And you see that, right? The Lord, Lord had it such that, King Solomon was getting in all of these dainties, and this is just a foreshadowing of the things to come in the kingdom, right? Which I'll grab in Isaiah the 60th chapter, right? It says, and this is the best, best things, the finer things, right? Because it says, neither was there any such spice as the Queen of Sheba gave King Solomon. So this was a special spice, right? It's like I say, this is just a foreshadowing of the things to come in the kingdom. Right, all things written aforetime were written for our learning. Right, it says, and the servants also of Hiram, and the servants of Solomon, which brought gold from Ophir. Right, and you read Isaiah the 13th chapter. The scripture says, "I'll make a man more precious than the golden wedge of Ophir." Right, which is talking about in the time of destruction. And which shows you that the golden, gold from Ophir was precious. Right, because in the time to come, soon to Daniel's 12th chapter, first verse, it's going to be a time like never before yet, right? Which is why a man is going to be so precious, and not just any man, a man of the Lord, because a man of the Lord is going to have that hedge, right? So that there's just proof that, gold from Ophir was precious, right? It says, brought algum trees and precious stones, and the king made of the algum trees terraces to the house of the Lord of Yahweh, and to the king's palace, and harps and psalteries for singers, and there were none such seen before in the land of Judah. Right, let me look. Oh yeah, so it's verse 15 says, and King Solomon made 200 targets of beaten gold, 600 shekels of beaten gold went to one target, and 300 shields, right, made he of beaten gold, right? It says 300 shekels of gold went into one shield. Let me just, confirm that it is literally just like a defense ruler scale shield buckler, right? So, a shield and a buckler made of gold. Right? It says, moreover, the king made a great throne of ivory and overlaid it with pure gold. Right? All the drinking vessels of King Solomon were of gold, and all the vessels of the house, the frost of Lebanon, were of pure gold. None were of silver. It says it was not anything accounted of in the days of Solomon. Right, for the king's ships went to Tarshish with the servants of Aram every 3 years. Once came the ships of Tarshish bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks. Right, and King Solomon passed all the kings of the earth in riches and wisdom. Right, I think that's all I'll read. But yeah, King Solomon was decked out. Right, this is Isaiah 60:10 says, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Right, so we're gonna have the kings of the nations, bringing, and building and working for us. Right, so the kings, of these heathens, they're gonna be working for us. Right now we work for them, but in time to come, they're gonna be working for us. Right, it says, therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, that their kings may be brought. Right, so what gates open mean that, they're going to be just giving us their goodies, Right, it says, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish, yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and thou will make the place of my feet glorious. Right? So yeah, these heathens, they gonna be giving in their goodies, man. They gonna be bringing them. Whereas Romans 8:17 says, and if children, then heirs of the Most High, joint heirs with Yahushai. Right, so in the kingdoms, we gonna be joint heirs with Yahushai. Right, says, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified together. Right, so we gotta, endure unto the end. Right, endure means, you don't just endure once and then that's it. Endure is like a constant, scriptures talk about constantly enduring. This path ain't easy, but there is a reward, right? That will be joint heirs with the Lord if we hold firm, if we hold strong, right? And then I believe it's the last one. This is Revelation 2:25. It says, but that which ye have already hold fast till I come. Right, and what do we have? We have this truth, and we got to hold it fast, right? Keep it close. Don't let it go, right? It says, and he that overcometh, right, and keepeth my works unto the end, right? So he that endureth unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I have received of my Father, right? So if we enjoy, we keep doing what we're doing, then we gonna have, we gonna, be in those positions, man. We'll be the 144,000 governing body of the nation of Israel, right? But, all Israel's gonna be decked out in the kingdom, right? And, when you're ruling people with a rod of iron, what does that mean? You mean you have them, in subjection, right? Which means they're tribute unto you, right? Which means they're gonna bring the forces of their Gentiles, which means they're going to bring their good stuff, right? Just like how they brought their good stuff to King Solomon, they're going to bring their good stuff to us, right? So, so I just wanted to go into Chronicles 9 real quick, because like I said, King Solomon was decked out, and that's what that's what we're got to look forward to, being decked out. People giving their goodies unto us. What you read Isaiah the 2nd chapter, I won't get it. First couple of verses, it says, that the heathen will basically be like, yo, let us go up to the mountain of, of Jerusalem, the mountain of Israel, right, representing the governing body, right, basically to seek after our wisdom, which is what you see here. Right, Queen of Sheba was seeking after the wisdom of King Solomon, right? But yeah, Lord's word, that was edifying. Until the next time, Shalom.